Bereshus Harabanim, Bereshus Avimori. On behalf of Tomche Shabbos of Rockland County in memory of Chaim Munzer, I would like to thank each and every one of you for making this a most successful dinner to date. You're an amazing group, and the chizuk you give us here tonight will keep us going all year long, so please give yourselves a hand. In Megillas Rus, we find a well-known story. Boaz is presented with the mitzvah of doing yibum, yet knowing that there's a closer relative who has the first rights to the mitzvah, Boaz offers it to that first relative. After considering it, the closer relative turns it down. At that point, Boaz does the mitzvah, he does yibum, and in doing so, he becomes the ancestor of David HaMelech. What's the name of the closer relative who turned it down? It's clearly written in Nach Ploni Almoni, Mr. X, no name. Rashi explains that his name isn't mentioned because he plays no role in the history of Klal Yisrael. He could have been the progenitor of David HaMelech, but he did not see the opportunity for what it was. Tonight, Tomche Shabbos is proud to honor a few outstanding individuals who have risen to the occasion. These honorees are true role models in how to be a Boaz. You know, when I was looking at that Rashi, I was sitting in the glider in my family room, and my mind began to wander. And I thought back to an incident that took place some years ago. It was a Thursday morning, and I got a phone call from a principal of a Beis Yaakov. Now, this was an interesting situation. There was a high school girl who used to sleep 2 to 3 nights a week at the principal's home. The parents were non-functional. The floor of the kitchen was eaten up and exposed to the elements, and mice would come in at night and scratch at her door. And it's something she could not deal with. So she used to go to the principal's house, just clear her mind, go every few days, every few nights. So I get this phone call from the principal. I said, okay, you've made me aware of the situation. What can I do? What are the issues today? She said, the brother is a chassan. The brother has never been invited into the home because of the dismal state of that home. The family now feels, at least the chassan feels, if they don't do something to get her into that home and show her some stability, the shidduch will be lost. Okay, what can I do? She said, can you rebuild a home? I said, how much time do I have? She said, we need to invite them next Shabbos. I said, okay. Optimism gets you far, by the way. Sure, no problem. The next morning, first, one second. That Thursday night, I went down to the Tomche Shabbos warehouse. I found a builder. He was just starting out. And I told him I need him to rebuild a house, and it's an emergency. And I said, I'll tell you what, Tomche Shabbos will pay for building materials, you pay for labor. Do we have a deal? He said, get me in the house, we have a deal. Friday morning, I called up, and I spoke to the woman. The mother answered the phone. I said, my name's Alan Rosenstock. Do you know who I am? She said, I've heard of you. I said, I need you to do me a tremendous favor. I have a builder who's building, he's very big in Brooklyn. He's trying to break into Rockland County. No one knows him. Can he please do work for you? He won't charge you, but he'd like to use you as a reference. Well, if I can help him out. What's his field of expertise? I said, kitchen floors. She said, well, bring him in. I called the guy up. I said, go. He came running in there, and he described to me, I've never seen the home, but he's brought it so alive. There was only one bathroom that worked. The upstairs bathroom wasn't working. He called in a subcontractor to rebuild the bathroom. He described a situation that is truly horrific. There was a refrigerator sitting in the middle of the kitchen and it was not working. He brought in a new refrigerator at his cost. Well, we had a deal. He rebuilt the entire place in 1 week. And the next Friday, he ran out. It was done. and the collar came. I came to him, I said, okay, it's going to be a big one. How much do I owe you? And he said, Alan, nothing. I said, you remember the deal? I'm talking about the building material. He said, no, I don't think you understand. All my life I've wanted to do something like this. You're not taking it away from me. As long as I live, I will never forget that story. Because the first Thursday night that it came down, he wasn't the first builder whom I met. I first met a builder who was highly successful with multiple crews running throughout the county. And he seemed distracted. He said, Alan, busiest time of the year for me. Speak to me after the summer. And I just politely went away. And I went to the second guy who was just starting out. If you'd like a little footnote, he's very successful now. Right now, he's building a tract of 88 homes. Life is made of opportunities. It's incumbent upon each of us to know what to do with those opportunities. Last week, we were informed about a person whose business collapsed, leaving him penniless. This past Thursday night, I received a phone call from a woman. She and her husband are trying to marry off their son. She told me she sold all the jewelry she had, but they haven't covered the bill. She wanted ideas. She did not want a handout. We're currently dealing with a breadwinner, a family whose breadwinner, the father, is disabled due to a car accident. Okay, an unemployed man, I want to speak slowly, I don't want anyone to miss this. An unemployed man, his pregnant wife, and 4 children are being threatened with eviction this week. We can either rise to the occasion and be a Boaz, or we're a Ploni Almoni. There is no third option. Let's rise to the occasion. We can. We must. Let's do it.